Well, I'll say this. This video is mainly for myself. Um, for future me, anyways. Um, about where I'm at the moment in my life, really. Because I do want to do better. So, future me. Right now, where I'm at is. I would say I am broken inside, for sure. Definitely broken. I'm repairing myself, from all the baggage of my past and whatnot. And seeing that my life has been kind of fucked up in a lot of ways. I don't want to say that everything that happened in my past is the reason why I am the way I am now. I really don't want to, put fault on someone else, right? Um, so, what do I do in this situation, When you're broken inside, you're repairing yourself, you're fixing it up, you're trying to do better, but you keep falling back into the same patterns over and over again, right? I hope the future me figures it out. I'm trying to figure it out right now. I don't know if I'll ever really figure out everything, with my issues. It's just something I constantly think about, So, trying to figure it all out as time goes. It's like, the more I think about it, I'm like, I am so broken. I'm really just like a mess. And then me looking at my trailer today, looking around, it's like, it seems like an art studio just vomited everywhere. It's like, it's a mess like I am. And it's like, if everything's organized, it's a lie, Like, so if I were to organize everything right now, things would get messy and cluttered because of how I feel inside. So my place kind of reflects how I feel, in a way. Or stuff I'm dealing with, or baggage I have, or whatever, right? Like, that's the way I'm seeing it, right? As I end up having all this clutter. Because I clean stuff up. I get everything really clean, and then I fall back into a pattern, and then everything gets messy, and then I go on a cleaning spree. It's just this repetitive thing, Because something will go horribly wrong, and then I'll fall back into an old routine that I'm trying to get out of. I get out of it a little bit quicker now than before. And hopefully in the future, it gets better. I know what I'm dealing with. I just don't know how to, fix all of it. Going to therapy just doesn't help. Doesn't really help at all. Seeing a psychiatrist, that whole thing is just a mess in itself. Think about the side effects of medicines. There are so many medicines I've been on that have made everything way worse. That's why I don't want to go to a psychiatrist. That's why I'm tired of going. Because as a kid, I dealt with that a lot. I was on medication from a very young age. I was on lithium, Seroquel, and God, there were so many pills I was on throughout the years. I was on so many different medicines. None of that changed anything that I was dealing with as a kid, right? Like, what it is sexual frustration. Like, but none of those medicines helped, Like, none of them helped me with my problems. I said I was fine because I just got tired of being put on different medicines and having to deal with different side effects while trying to learn shit in school. Like, there's so many medications that I had to take that would literally make me really tired when I went to school, and then while I'm really tired at school, I would end up flipping the fuck out at school. There were so many times I flipped out at school, right? In a way, I thought about it in this way of like, since I was used to a toxic environment at home, when I went to school, which was very peaceful, It's like almost like my body couldn't stand it, right? Like it wasn't normal to me. My normal was chaos, toxicity, all that. And I know where that leads, right? Like I clearly understand. Even though I had thoughts of revenge and how I wanted to kill my parents and how I wanted to, kill my whole family and, I planned all that stuff out in my head, sure, but I never went through with it. Because I knew they were just thoughts in the end. And if I let them take hold, then, then I would just hate them. I would just despise them, whatever. Really, I just don't care. I'm just like, whatever. Like, at this point, it's like, whatever. Like, I'm fucked up in my life. And I have to deal with a bunch of nonsense that I don't really want to deal with, Like, I don't want to deal with all these issues. Heck, the last job I had, I stopped going to therapy because I got called into work all the time. Like when work is interfering with me trying to do better for myself is a bit of a problem. I am going to look into getting, there's a factory job I'm going to try to get here soon. I just got to talk to one of my friends and stuff and see if he'll help me get into that place or not. Because I really do want to do better in my life. Okay? So future me, remember that right now we are trying our damnedest to do better. We're just a mess. We are just a mess inside. We have so many emotions we have to sort through, and knowing what emotions are now in general, that came with, getting with my ex and all that. That was something. First time to actually have to deal with emotions and have to sort that stuff out, and it's not actually being able to have a healthy life growing up on how to be better emotionally and how to deal with emotions better. I didn't have the best people to teach me that, though I am glad that I went out and about when I was younger and tried to hang out with other people and older people and stuff. Though I was kind of always a loner, though. I never felt like I belonged anywhere. Like, even when I was in preschool, I never really felt like I belonged. I mean, I guess I've kind of just always been in my own world. I'm just so used to being alone and stuff like that. So some of the content that I make on YouTube here, for anybody that does watch my videos, I do stupid shit because a lot of the stupid stuff amuses me. Like, earlier today, I was literally laughing my ass off because I was like, oh shit, them some titties, and acting like I was like, I got killed or something because of like the titties or something. Like, oh shit, them some titties, and then you die. Like, it's like, well, titties, yay, titties, but I don't know. It was something stupid that made me laugh, and it's like those stupid things that I usually put up on YouTube and stuff. I'm sure if I took the time to edit stuff, the stuff could be better and whatnot, because then I could do different, shots and stuff that I would like to do, but, it's not like I have money to put into getting a computer and stuff. I'd have to literally buy piece by piece. And to do each piece as I could afford it, that would still take like a couple of years before I could even build the goddamn thing. As I can afford it, shit. With how much I have to fix here, like, I would love to get modeling clay again too, and oil pastels and, different artsy things that, because I was in special ed most of my life, so being in special ed, I guess I had privileges that other classes didn't. So, I got to, my class would usually either go somewhere to we'd learn how to do something, right? One of them was learned how to, hook up a horse and buggy and all that, which was a cool thing. We would go to different art places and stuff and learn how to work with clay, or we would do something, whatever. And stuff, but like at the end of the day, that'd all be a hobby. Even if I was good at sculpting with clay, right? Like, even if I was really good with it, it's like at the end of the day, that would be just a hobby. It's something I can't really make money off of. So a lot of things I know I wouldn't really be able to make money off if I don't try to do. It's like, I know how to woodwork a bit. I'm not the best at that. I know how to do some stuff. I mean, I have a lot to learn there, but I mean, I took woodworking quite a bit and I did enjoy it. I love the smell of wood and stuff like that. I mean, I've thought about taking a hammer and a flathead and just sitting there trying to chisel designs and stuff. But like at the end of the day, it's like I'd be using material I could be using to fix my home to make some cool design, right? Like, just because I have things in my head that I see that I would like to do or whatever, it's not like I can do them anyways. I mean, I could draw them out all I want, but at the end of the day, that's all I could do. And even if I could draw really well, my carpal tunnel would really get in the way of drawing a lot. Working with clay would be the best because it wouldn't really take much. I wouldn't have to put too much into it. Maybe, warming the clay up or whatever to, do what I want to do with some modeling clay. I have like a bunch of things that I would like to do with that. Or have oil pastels, because that stuff is just satisfying to touch, It's a weird thing for me, but a lot of things that are touched that are satisfying. I like doing stuff like that. I don't want to do anything that's too hard on me either, obviously, but I hope I can get a job soon, though. I really need to fix more things up. Even though I'm a mess inside, I'm working on it. And right now we're trying really hard to get a job, and filling out applications nonstop really does suck. Definitely is something. But I am definitely trying to move forward in my life. I don't like to focus on my past too much, or at least I don't like to talk about it as much. Though I get stuck in these loops, like I feel like I have to, Even though I want to stop myself, sometimes it's hard, like, to stop myself. The way I see it is like word vomit, right? I don't try to lie about anything, I don't usually lie. I'm usually honest about things. I'm usually a pretty honest person overall. But I don't know. I do have a lot of issues I'm working through for sure. We can call them mental issues or whatever. I'd rather call them mental issues. Because they're just issues, really. I mean, some of it does get in the way of, like, an actual job, but I think the job that I would do best is a job that I could just kind of be in my own world for the most part. Like, do my job, but I could be in my own world and not have to really interact with people all that much. That'd probably be a good job for me, especially if I didn't want to get in trouble or get fired for saying something stupid or whatever, right? I understand what jobs I should go for right now, though right now I'd probably take whatever job I could get. Even though if I get another job at a store and the way... Like, the problem is, like, I was talking to one of the people I worked with after I got some stuff yesterday at the store and stuff, and I was talking to her, and, she was complaining about, how she couldn't, even if she brought something to the boss's attention or whatever, it's not like anything's going to get done about it, right? Like, if no one comes into work, the manager or assistant manager has to go in, right? They have to be there, and when they have appointments or whatever, they can't, they can't just take off work. And when I was working up there, I couldn't do anything. I couldn't be left there by myself because I wasn't a key holder or whatever, right? It was very dumb, right? It was very stupid because there was times that the key holders left. Like, there was so many times I'm just kind of left there, and I'm like, well, I can't do anything if I were to, scan something for someone and they were like, oh, no, I don't want that. And I don't have, the power to use the key and take that off and stuff like that. It's like, well, like... It's one of those things, it's like, well, And then there's rules for how many you can take off and all this other shit. It's all dumb. It's so stupid, man. Like, there's so many things that it's just... Whenever you work in certain environments, you feel like you're obligated to do things, right? like me, since I'm a reliable worker and I'm really willing to make money, right? I figured if I show that I'm willing to work hard, then it shouldn't matter really what I say too much. Yes, I have some problems with when it comes to saying things. It comes out like word vomit. Like I said, it's just kind of like something almost like a tick, right? Almost like a Tourette's sort of thing. I would say it's kind of like that. There's like a tick, right? There's certain things that'll make me react in that way, and then I'll just say that nonsense because it's what I feel like. My body feels like it's the way to respond, even though when I think about it, I'm like, that's not the way that you respond, you know. But it's like it just has this auto reaction because I think as a child I was just so on autopilot and so detached from everything. You know, I seen my mom get choked by my stepdad. You know, I witnessed so much violent shit. And then my mom stabbed my stepdad. Like, there's so many instances where I was in just a toxic environment. It was just toxic. I know where all that stuff leads. That's why I don't like being around toxic people, and I just kind of stay to myself, you know? Like, having friends is cool and all, but there's just a lot of people that are very toxic, right? And I understand, you know, doing things to have a laugh and stuff. I get that. But there's like this reaction that I have to have for some reason. It's like I see it, but I just can't stop it. Like I'm getting closer to getting that under control, but it's going to take some time to kind of hone that in more. It's taken a lot of time to fix some of these issues. Like, I am working on them. Definitely. Like, I just don't know how to keep moving forward. Like, I watch a lot of different stuff, you know. I'm not someone that's really envious or anything like that. I don't really care. Yeah, a lot of people are like, you know, I understand so many things, and I understand where I'm at in my life. Like, I have a roof over my head, right? I'm thankful that I have a roof over my head and that I'm able to pay my bills right now, right? I am thankful for that, for sure. I want to do better. I definitely do, and I'm striving to do that. For some reason, I just keep falling back into the same old loops. And I can see it as well. Like, as it happens, or before it happens, I can see what's going to happen. It's like, I don't want to fall back into that cycle, and then I'm trying to grab on whatever is that I'm doing to kind of pull myself through. Like, come on, we're gonna keep fucking fighting, we're gonna get through this sort of thing, like, you know. But yeah, I mean, it's whatever. I figured I'd just do a video for the future me. I don't know. Like, I put a lot of dumb stuff on YouTube because that's just usually what amuses me. I'll still probably do some of that same old content, you know, putting up ridiculous dumb shit on YouTube, whatever. But I don't know. I might start doing more videos like this so that I can, you know, have something to look back on and be like, okay, yes, we were trying and we're in a better place now. And I'll be like, you know, like, even now when I think back to me as a child, I feel really sad for him. Like, I'm really sad inside for what I went through, you know? It's sad and it's heartbreaking because it's like, none of that had to happen, right? I could have definitely made different choices, but I was in a situation where it's like, this is probably the best I'm going to get. Like, I thought I was either going to get the same or worse, you know? I'm unpacking a lot of things from my past. Still going through it all. I'm trying to fix some of my issues. I'm just glad that I understand them far better than what I did before. So I'm making progress. It just feels like I'm not making progress. And sometimes I'm awake all night because I'm trying to figure out how to fix my problems, you know? Sleepless nights because I'm like, how do I fix this? How do I do this? How do I do that? I worry about, you know, how to fix myself. Because I know unless I can fix myself, it's going to be harder for me to want to fix things around, right? anytime I try to fix things here and then something else falls apart, and I'm just like, oh, it's always something. It's always something going wrong. And I'm surprised I haven't broken down in tears yet over some other shit, but there are a lot of times where I do want to break down and cry. But I'm glad that I had a bad trip so I can cry when I need to now. You know? That's for sure. So I did at least make some progress with certain things and stuff. I'm doing my best. So hopefully future me is in a better place. I really do hope future me is in a better place. But I think I want to do more of these videos to where I just kind of do stuff like this and tell myself that we're going to keep pushing forward and we're not going to stop trying to do better. We're going to keep trying to do better. It's definitely for my sake. These videos in the end are just for my sake. I mean, I put them up because I'm so used to talking to myself. Like when you're alone majority of your life and you're just kind of a loner and you're distant from everyone. Like I was the one person that if I was in the cafeteria, since I didn't really have anybody I could hang out with typically, I had people that made friends with me, but if it was my way, I wouldn't have really made friends with anyone. I wouldn't have, everybody made friends with me. I would have been just the one to just be a loner. I don't know how many times I went to tables, during lunchtime and just sit by myself, and then all of a sudden I'd have a bunch of girls around me, because I'd be sitting alone. Like, why are you alone? Just kind of used to being alone, and then I talk to myself, and just, But, when you're alone and all of a sudden you got a bunch of titties around, you're like, oh, titties! Oh, titties! Yeah. No, I'm just... Like, even if I achieve me having 5 women, right? I hope I don't withdraw myself too much. Like, I might actually end up withdrawing myself for a few days at a time, or maybe longer. I don't want to be, I don't want to feel like I'm a burden to anyone. Maybe that's one of the reasons why I don't, try to, be part of groups. But there's so much stuff with groups that I just don't like. I don't know. It feels like if things go awry in a group setting, it'd just be a mess. It'd be a mess. Kind of like politics. It's a whole mess itself. When I think about politics, it's like you have people that literally act like gangsters because politics, in a way, especially so far, like people that have been in the, Senate or whatever for long periods of time, their whole family is a political family. It's kind of like, when I think back to like the Prohibition, like mobsters and stuff, like, there was a tradition that got passed down, and there's certain things, and because they have this power and this weight to throw around, and it's power play, all these power things and stuff, and I'm over here trying to deal with my issues, and then I see the world falling apart, and I'm like, I'm a mess, and I gotta look at this shit, like, every day? Are you kidding me? It's stupid. This world is dumb. Well, with that, I bid you adieu, and have a good one.